So today we're going to talk about how to do crystal layouts in situations where your client can't lie down and for directly after a surgery. Madonna is going to be helping me out today. Madonna just had surgery yesterday for her eyelids. They were falling down over her eyes and obstructing part of her view. So we're going to focus on work around her eyes today with crystals. I have an assortment of crystals on the table over here to choose from. The best way to choose the crystals that you're going to use for any situation like this is to understand the area that you're working with and then use your intuition. Many times, as long as you use amethyst or quartz, both of those are great healing stones, as well as malachite. If that's all you have, that's great. That will work just fine. I've brought in about 25 different types of stones that we can use, and each one has sympathetic or energetic properties that deal with the eyes or Madonna's particular situation. So we're going to go ahead and get started and see what this looks like. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that no matter what position your client's going to be in, that they're comfortable. Are you good? I'm good. Okay. We're going to do sitting today because Madonna can't lie down yet due to the surgery. We're going to start with some amethyst. Always be considerate of the size of the stone that you're working with. Because she can sit, and I'm going to be holding the stones today, we can use something a little bit larger because the weight of it will rest in my hand rather than on her. But we're going to start with an amethyst, and we're going to go right at her third eye. Now normally, remember, we do breathing beforehand. We make sure that we're grounded and centered. For the sake of this video, we're going to move right into this, okay? So, amethyst, we're just going to go right on your brow. We're just going to let that hold there for a little bit. And you can do this a variety of ways. The crystal will do the work for you, or you can run energy and use the crystal as kind of a conduit. Now I know it looks like I'm leaning on her head. I'm not trying to rest on her head. I am using the top of her head as a stabilizer, but I'm not resting on the top of her head. I have some Himalayan sea salt. Himalayan sea salt is another great stone for healing the body, especially areas that are mucous membranes. Right now we're focusing on the third eye chakra more than we are the eyeballs themselves. The reason for that is because the third eye chakra governs the eyes, governs the top of the head, and we have two eyes that we're dealing with here. And many of the stones that I have, I only have one. So if we work on the third eye, that will actually feed both eyes. Other ways that you can do this, if you're not comfortable with putting the stones right directly on their body for whatever reason, you can hold the stone in your one hand and just run the energy with the other. And what you're wanting to do when you do this is visualize an energetic flow going from the stone hand into the hand that's touching the person. Another thing that you can do if putting the stones directly on the person's face is going to be difficult is you can ask them, would you put your hands out? And you can place stones in their hands. What I've placed is 2 pieces of optical calcite, and just say, go ahead, close your hands around those and just hang on to those for me. Because then they're allowing that energy to come up through their arms and come up and do work for you. What's nice about this is while she's doing those 2, I'm up here working with another one. This is Ulexite, and a Ulexite stone is it's very sympathetic to the situation we have here. Ulexite at first glance is a very cloudy looking type of quartz, but when you lie it down on something that has a pattern or something with words, it just pops right through like it's almost magnified. And part of the problem that we're having here is Madonna's having some blurry vision. Part of that I think is probably medication, part of that's due to the surgery. We want to encourage that clarity of vision. Just keep hanging on to those for me. A lot of times with surgeries there's some emotional work that wants to be done as well. I like to use fluorite for that. That's my big go-to. So what I'm going to do with Madonna is actually place some fluorite behind her heart and just run some energy with that as well. Because yes, we're focusing on the eyes, but we want to focus on the whole person. The impact isn't just on the eyes. The impact is on the head, on the heart, on the spirit, on the body. We want to address all of that. Okay, I'm going to take these little optical calcites from you. So that's roughly how you would do something for a client that has to sit up, something for eyes. Also keep in mind what we're doing right now is a house call, so you want to kind of be aware of your surroundings when you go to a house too, and make sure that you know where to access the things that you've brought with you, make sure that your client is comfortable in the position they're in, all of these things. I'm going to do more with Madonna after we shut this camera off because we're going to finish a session, but this gives you an idea of how that would work. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped you out. Have a great day.